daVinci engineering is about far more than a class. It's a new way of teaching, and it's a fresh approach to learning.
It was probably like the best class I've ever taken. It was so cool. I loved it.
But I think the biggest takeaway from this class is not just the skills, but the experience.
Our understanding of the world has grown exponentially, and the only way to educate students at that level of complexity is to specialize. The art students are over in the art department. The engineering students, they're in the College of Engineering. And there is almost no crossover between those departments. I would ask though, at what cost has this specialization come? daVinci engineering addresses that very question.
Before this class I was like, oh, that's got to be easy, you know? They just go in there, they make it, they're good at it, it's got to be easy. It's not easy. It's a big learning curve to this stuff.
I barely knew what a drill chuck was before I took this class, and now I know how to use a mill and a lathe, and it's really fun, so I'm really glad that I had that opportunity.
I really didn't know anything. Like, I couldn't have done SolidWorks before. I couldn't have machined it. I'm most proud of that I was able to go from start to finish, when most things you do like a step in it, but we really kind of hit the full spectrum.
I really almost didn't know what a mill did before this semester, and now I'm actually working on one and actually making, especially this piece, I think I'm the most proud of.
I'm taking an intro to engineering class next semester, and I'll definitely have a leg up on the rest of the kids that are just starting for their first time.
But why does this all matter? I mean, these engineers aren't going to become machinists, and the lawyers aren't going to become welders, and the artists aren't going to become businessmen or businesswomen. But I think that if they have this understanding, they will be able to communicate. They'll be able to understand, they'll be able to work more efficiently, and in the end they will create really exciting new products that could never be realized by any individual.
Because I am an artist myself, a designer, and I normally come up with different designs, but I never think about the things that goes behind actually making the product.
It makes you think more when you're designing it.
Not only do I know how to use the machines and be able to be proficient in making something, but when I go back to design something, I can use that experience.
I really have an appreciation for all the work that goes into manual labor now.
I've never worked as hard at anything in my life. It was a lot of hours in the shop, but I'd rather be working in the shop than sitting in the class, for sure.
I've never been forced to think in the ways I've had to in this class to solve completely different sorts of problems.
I'm really proud that I learned how to formulate a concept. I did all the research behind it, and then bring it into a level where I could actually produce this on a large scale. You know,
our whole lives are surrounded by, or revolving around, working with other people, and especially as engineers, we always are constantly working together.
You have to come to accept that you never will finish learning. There's no end point. Because the problem is you start out with a question, and once you learn something about that question, the answer, invariably it will make you ask 10 more questions. And when you figure out the answers to those 10 questions, you'll then have 100 more questions. And it never stops. And that can be intimidating and overwhelming, but it can also be incredibly exhilarating.
I like the way you walk. I like the way you talk.